Hey, what's going on, my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor and I help people navigate through their spiritual awakening process. And today I'm going to address a topic that has been brought to my attention more commonly recently, something that I initially decided I wasn't going to approach because it's not the most popular topic. However, because it's been coming up to me so frequently, I do want to address it because those of you who are going through this, I imagine, would want some help. And what I'm talking about, if you're probably already wondering, is having suicidal or very dark and irrational thoughts during the course of your spiritual awakening. This is something that I have experienced many times, even prior to my official awakening. And I believe some things I can share will help those of you who are going through this, because it's something that you can deal with. It's something that I'm not saying it's not a big thing, but it's something that I believe is not as dire as it can seem based on the appearances, because your thoughts, after all, are not really you. You're not necessarily suicidal. However, the dysfunctional thinker who you thought you were is, and it can be a little bit off-putting when you start noticing, not really having for the first time, but noticing just how insane that thinker is. But anyways, all this awakening dialogue doesn't always help you in a practical sense in the moment. So I'm going to get a little deeper into this, sharing some of my own experiences with myself, some clients as well, and hopefully we can work through this one together, okay? So the first thing I want to mention is that because you're awakening, a lot of you have random, dark, irrational thoughts, images, memories, feelings, etc., that will come up very unannounced. And one time that comes to mind for me is when it was a while ago. Me and my wife and my parents and sister-in-law, we were on a family vacation in Mexico, in Cancun, and the whole place. This was post-awakening. I had gone through a Kundalini awakening prior to this and was aware of it. But this place had a real different energy, not good or bad, just different than I've experienced. Very powerful, very noticeable. And it threw me off. It made me feel kind of uncomfortable. And anyways, I had fallen asleep one day to getting all drunk or something. Because we were partying, not obviously, but we were partying it up. Anyway, I woke up. It was kind of one of those where I was half asleep, somewhat like sleep paralysis. And I had this very loud voice in my head that didn't even sound like me. It sounded like just a random voice that was not just like the thinker in my head. It said, "Your mother's gonna kill herself." Jesus, it scared the crap out of me. It felt like a warning. I didn't know what to make of it. It scared the crap out of me. And I had this guy I used to float with. I did flotation therapy at some point. And this dude was also like a kind of sort of a therapist or guru or something with people who were going through metaphysical types of issues. Anyway, I knew him. He was it was someone I could call upon. So I called him up and was like, "Emmanuel, dude, I had this crazy thought, man." And he calmed me down. He explained to me that the way he explained it was more in technical terms. He explained of Shakti, the Kundalini energy. It will cause misaligned energies to bubble up to the surface, to bubble up and out. This can be, they're stored memories, experiences, etc. in your cells, is the way he put it. And the awakening is bringing all that up. And sometimes it's, "Hey, I love tennis. I didn't know that, but now I realize I love tennis." Or it's, "Hey, crazy ass thought, your mom's going to kill herself." It could stem from past lives. It could just be a metaphor of some other fear I'm harboring. Anyways, it can be a mixed bag of light and darkness, and very well including suicidal thoughts, you should kill yourself, you should end it, that kind of thing. A lot of it, again, is just sort of the mental abstract of dark primal core energies that are just expressed in that specific way. But nonetheless, it's to be expected that these kind of things are going to come up. You don't have to be shaken by them. If anything, welcome their departure. Say, okay, good. Thank God. Disturbing, yes, to discover that you were once there, but comforting to know that you're on your way out. And that's what it was. My mom's still alive. It wasn't a warning. It was just some random thing that maybe the energy in Mexico triggered. I mean, I was talking to my wife about this as well, and she would say that she would get that, like suicidal, almost like a person inside of her urging her to kill herself. She would say she'd be driving down the road, and it'd be like, you should just veer off the road here. She'd say, no, I don't want to. I have my baby in the car. It's the programmed mind, the programmed ego is a whack job. It's nuts. It's not healthy. It doesn't have our best interest at heart. It's like a limited computer program that's been just playing on autopilot, unbeknownst to us, and we mistakenly assume that's who we are, but it's not. You are the one who's aware of the crazy ass suicidal thoughts. So in light of that, you don't have to listen to them. You don't have to take counsel from them. You don't have to judge yourself because they're not actually you. Anyway, there's some more things I want to share. Another reason for this might not even be necessarily suicidal thoughts, like the thoughts themselves. It might be that you actually want to end it. You're considering it because what you're going through makes you feel so alone, and it's so challenging, so dark at times. The dark side of the awakening. A lot of people, they associate it with lifting up to higher consciousness and realms and angels and fairies, and that's all part of it. That's cool, but to get to that, you have to be. The awakening itself is a process that pushes again to the surface all of our crap, all of the darkness within us that stems well beyond the scope of this present incarnation, past lives where we suffered immensely, many of us, and it's all just coming up to our consciousness, and it's overwhelming, and then it plays out into our reality. So it can seem like life is just like one chaotic, psychotic breakdown, and you're losing it. And so why wouldn't you? That's the conclusion we can draw. I've drawn it myself. Like, I don't see how I could ever get out of this, and it's not worth it. I'm experiencing such a state of joylessness and pain and sorrow that what the hell is there to live for? But the point of me saying all of that is to remind you, and the fact that you're here still breathing, watching this is evidence to what I'm about to say, is that you get what you can actually handle. Not what you think you can handle. We oftentimes don't think we can handle something, but then we find ourselves handling it just fine. You get what you can handle. Something came to mind. One of my clients, she did ayahuasca. I've been hearing all about ayahuasca recently. I'm quite intrigued, I must say. And she was expressing to me that she went into this whole thing where there was all this fasting and preparation to sort of honor the medicine, the plant medicine, and all the people around, or many of the people around her, had pretty pleasant, uplifting, hopeful experiences, but hers was so miserable and dark, and she blacked out for a lot of it. And she said she woke up feeling like she just had a surgery because it was so invasive, so she did not feel good about it. It was a lot. It was a big unpleasant experience all around. And I was explaining to her, I'm like, why do you think that happened to you that way? She concluded, without me having to say that, she could handle it. She could handle that kind of experience, and it was still productive. And rather than just, give her a nice little fleeting high, the ayahuasca shaman, the medicine apparently decided to do some real work on her because she could take it. She's tough. If you're having these crazy suicidal thoughts, you must be tough. You must be ready for them. Otherwise, it wouldn't be happening. So remember that. No matter what you're going through, doesn't matter what it is, you're built for it. It's appropriate. The timing is actually right for it. Even if you'd rather not experience it, that's of course the case many times, but you are for a reason. You know deep down there is a reason for it. And no matter what comes your way, when it comes, you're ready for it. Another reason this could be happening, and again, I hope to comfort you with what I have to say about it, but sometimes, not sometimes, the awakening can radically, drastically, quickly spiral up. Oh my God, I love everything. And then it can do have the exact opposite effect where you just plummet. Not just your mood, not just your thinking, not just your body, your life. It's all one holistic extension of you, and it plays out in the wide range of different ways. And you could be on the cloud one day, and then all of a sudden you're like in the depths of hell, and you see absolutely no way out. There's no light at the end of the tunnel, and why wouldn't you? And then the suicidal thoughts come in, and you're going through that kind of state. It's no wonder some people, they lose it, they freak out because they don't know that they're going through an awakening. So that's just what I want to say. You're going through this awakening, and that could happen sometimes. But just as quickly as the clouds can roll in and it can start storming and your life can turn to shit in a matter of seconds, so too can you pull out of it at that same rate, and you will oftentimes. So just because things seem to be spiraling south very quickly, don't worry, because you're going to bottom out and then you're going to spring back like a freaking bunny. And oh wow, it all makes sense. I remember it. But then you get on the cloud. It's like, yes, I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose it. I don't want to go back down. Oh man, you're falling again. So just know that when you're in the pits, in the dark night of the soul, as they say, you won't feel hopeful. You won't see light at the end of the tunnel. You might have the suicidal thoughts or some other crazy abstractions because of the experience you're allowing yourself to go through, because you're tough enough to handle it. Regardless, it will come to an end. And oftentimes things are not as they seem. Sometimes your life can seem on all levels that it's just falling apart and there's no hope for you. And then one little thought pops in your head, or one phone call, or one little discovery in your drawer changes everything. And you're immediately just elevated out of all that. So just remember that. I know you've gone through that. I've gone through that. So if you're feeling that way, remind yourself that just because things suck right now, in a moment, there'll be a whole nother now bubble you'll be in, and you never know. Things might change, and they will. And then lastly, I just want to reiterate that your identity is not. It's just not the thoughts. It doesn't matter what thoughts are going through your head. I have insane thoughts all the time. But I don't really let them get me down anymore, because I know it's just kind of like a record player that follows me around on my backpack, and sometimes it's a pleasant song, and sometimes it's some crazy shit that I don't want to listen to, but nonetheless it follows me around and kind of haunts me. But I know it's just a record player. I know it's just something I'm carrying around because I learned to. It's not who I am. So therefore I don't have to judge myself based on the random fluctuations of the freaking record player. Anyway, I think I carried that analogy a little too far. I don't mean to make light of the situation, because I know how it is. I've had those dark feelings. I've had those dark thoughts. I've had situations where I've really had to hang on for dear life to not kill myself. I've had times driving down the road where it felt like I wanted to end it. I wanted it to be over. And I'm not afraid of death. I welcome it to an extent. And I don't know, it's crazy. It can get dark. I understand that. But hopefully this video can help you. The conclusions I shared with you are what helped get me through. And there were actually times where I would look up online, like I'm suicidal, and there was one time I felt this way, and I came upon a random letter. It was like a blog post / letter, and it was addressed to people going through just what I'm going through, and it said, listen, you're reading this for a reason, and you're gonna be just fine. And it was very uplifting, and it helped me considerably. So I wanted to pay it forward, because there was something out there for me when I was feeling that way, and I wanted to, you know, hook you guys up if you're feeling this. I realize this won't be my most popular YouTube video. Not everyone's gonna wanna click on something that's kind of a darker subject, but I know some of you are going through some heavy shit, and I wanna let you know you're not alone. Again, you're built to handle this. You're going to get through this. And if you have no one else, you got me. I make videos most days, and here I am. We can be friends, okay? Hang in there. I love you, and I will see you guys next time. Hope this helped. Peace.